Beyond being a side-splitting legal comedy, My Cousin Vinny hides a wealth of fascinating stories from its production days. Marisa Tomei, who delivered an unforgettable performance, went above and beyond for the crew in ways few realize. Her dedication wasn't just about acting, she brought an extra spark to the set that lifted everyone's spirits during long hours. Unexpected casting choices added layers of charm and surprise, while behind-the-scenes mishaps contributed to the film's authentic feel. These lesser-known moments reveal how much heart and humor went into making the movie more than just a courtroom laugh fest, turning it into a genuine classic with stories as rich as its script. Opening in theaters on March 13, 1992, the American comedy My Cousin Vinny was directed by Jonathan Lynn and produced by Lona and Paul Schiff. The film features a remarkable cast, including Joe Pesci, who delivers a memorable performance as the unconventional lawyer Vinny Gambini. Ralph Macchio stars alongside Pesci, portraying one of the two young men caught in a legal predicament. Marisa Tomei stands out in her role, bringing charm and wit that added depth to the movie's dynamic. The supporting cast includes Mitchell Whitfield, Lane Smith, Bruce McGill, and Fred Gwynne, who appeared in his final role in this film. Each actor contributed to the movie's unique blend of humor and courtroom drama, making it a lasting favorite for many viewers. The combination of strong direction, a talented ensemble, and a clever script helped My Cousin Vinny carve out a special place in early 90s American comedy. Although Marisa Tomei was not a well-known actress at the time, she was chosen to play Mona Lisa Vito despite the studio's doubts about her limited experience. Director Jonathan Lynn had faith in her talent because he had seen her act in the 1991 comedy Oscar. His trust was rewarded when she gave a remarkable performance that stood out and proved her ability to bring the character to life in a memorable way. This casting decision highlighted how sometimes taking a chance on lesser-known actors can lead to unexpectedly strong results. Though the story of My Cousin Vinny takes place in Alabama, the actual filming occurred in Georgia, with important scenes captured in Monticello, Jasper County, and Alto. This choice of location helped create the southern town atmosphere essential to the film's charm. The screenplay's inspiration came from a real-life moment experienced by screenwriter Dale Launer. He once met a young man who was struggling to pass the bar exam, which sparked Launer's imagination. He pictured a scenario where an inexperienced lawyer, much like that young man, would have to defend a family member in a small southern town. This blend of real-life experience and creative storytelling gave the film its unique tone and setting, making it both humorous and relatable. Joe Pesci's portrayal of Vinny was deeply influenced by the real-life characters he encountered growing up in New Jersey. These were men with loud voices, rapid speech, and a clever way of slipping out of tough situations. This authentic inspiration gave Vinny a lively and believable personality that stood out in the film. Meanwhile, Marisa Tomei's character, Mona Lisa Vito, almost didn't make it into the final cut. The studio considered removing her role, which would have changed the dynamic of the story significantly. To save Mona Lisa's character, screenwriter Dale Launer crafted the famous biological clock scene. This scene not only preserved her role, but also became one of the most memorable and beloved moments in the movie. The combination of Pesci's vivid Vinny and Tomei's sharp, witty Mona Lisa added a unique charm that helped define the film's lasting appeal. Initially, Robert De Niro was the first choice to play the character Vinny Gambini. However, the studio president felt that De Niro did not have the right comedic touch for the role, believing he wasn't funny enough to bring the character to life in the way the film needed. This led to Joe Pesci being cast instead, as his style and delivery better suited the comedic tone the filmmakers wanted. Meanwhile, screenwriter Dale Launer went on a road trip through the South to better understand the region's culture. This journey allowed him to observe the local customs, language, and people, which helped him write authentic and relatable scenes. During this trip, Launer encountered various elements that inspired key parts of the film, including characters and situations that reflected the true spirit of the South. This research trip was crucial in shaping the story and making it feel genuine to audiences familiar with the region. In the film, Mona Lisa Vito's expert testimony about cars from the 1960s is both entertaining and clever, but it contains a small mistake. She confidently states that only 2 cars from that era had both positive traction and independent rear suspension. However, this claim overlooks a third car that also had these features, the 1964 Studebaker Avanti. This car was known for its advanced design and performance, making it a notable exception to the statement made during the testimony. The error does not take away from the humor and sharpness of the character, but it is an interesting detail for car enthusiasts who know the nuances of automotive history. Despite this inaccuracy, the testimony remains a memorable and fun part of the film, highlighting Mona Lisa Vito's quick wit and knowledge, even if not entirely precise. During the making of the film, the famous Utes scene where Vinny's accent leads to confusion with Judge Haller was inspired by a real conversation between Joe Pesci, who played Vinny, and the director Jonathan Lynn. This moment was crafted to show how Vinny's strong accent could cause misunderstandings, adding humor and depth to the character. Initially, the script included a revelation that Vinny had dyslexia, which was meant to explain why he struggled to pass the bar exam. This detail was intended to give insight into Vinny's challenges and make his character more relatable and complex. However, the filmmakers decided to remove this part from the final version, choosing to keep Vinny's intelligence more ambiguous. By doing so, they allowed audiences to interpret Vinny's abilities in their own way, focusing more on his street-smart personality rather than a specific learning difficulty. The scene remains memorable because it highlights how communication and perception can be tricky, especially when accents and expectations collide in a courtroom setting. Filming the prison scenes in Gainesville, Georgia, brought a unique and intense atmosphere to the production. The location was not just any set, but a real prison, complete with a death row wing that added a chilling authenticity to the experience. The actors, including Marisa Tomei, found it unsettling to work in such an environment, where the weight of the place's history was palpable. This setting created a raw and genuine backdrop that deeply influenced their performances, making the scenes more powerful and believable. Meanwhile, Marisa Tomei's journey to recognition took an unexpected turn when she learned about her Oscar nomination. At the time, she was sleeping on a friend's couch, a humble and unassuming place that contrasted sharply with the grandeur of the news. Her initial shock quickly gave way to joy as she realized her friends were celebrating her achievement, turning a quiet moment into a memorable celebration of her talent and hard work. The combination of these real-life experiences, the stark reality of the prison, and the surprise of her nomination, highlighted the unpredictable and emotional nature of her career. A rumor once spread that Marisa Tomei's Oscar win was a mistake because the presenter, Jack Palance, was allegedly under the influence during the announcement. This theory suggested that Palance misread the winner, and that Tomei was not the intended recipient. However, this story has no real evidence behind it. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences has very strict rules and procedures in place to make sure the correct winner is always announced. Before the ceremony, the winners are carefully verified by independent auditors to prevent any errors. Presenters receive the correct envelopes and instructions to announce the winners clearly. Mistakes like announcing the wrong name are extremely rare and would be caught quickly. Marisa Tomei's Oscar win was legitimate, and the conspiracy theory remains just that, a theory without proof. The Academy system is designed to protect the integrity of the awards and avoid confusion or mistakes during such an important event. Interestingly, Joe Pesci almost made a cameo appearance in the film, My Cousin Vinny, where he would have been seen holding the Oscar he won for his role in Goodfellas. This idea was ultimately dropped because the filmmakers wanted to keep the audience's attention on the story rather than distracting them with a well-known actor showing off an award. This decision helped maintain the film's focus and narrative flow. Additionally, there is a noticeable time inconsistency in the movie. Outside Dave's BBQ, the clock shows a time that does not match the timeline established during the courtroom scenes. This small detail stands out to careful viewers who pay close attention to the sequence of events. Such discrepancies are common in films, but can be intriguing for fans who enjoy spotting these little errors. These elements together show the balance filmmakers try to strike between storytelling and small production details. Mona Lisa Vito's character in the film was inspired by the Jersey girls that screenwriter Dale Launer encountered while backpacking in France. These women left a strong impression on him due to their distinct style and confident demeanor, which he sought to capture in the character. Their blend of toughness and charm made Mona Lisa Vito a memorable and authentic figure on screen. Additionally, a notable moment in the film occurs when Vinny accidentally knocks over the judge's chessboard during a tense scene. This mishap was not scripted, but happened spontaneously during filming. Director Jonathan Lynn decided to keep the moment in the final cut because it felt genuine and added a layer of humor that enriched the scene. This blend of real-life inspiration and unplanned moments contributed to the character's lasting appeal and the film's charm. During the filming, a real screech owl was used to capture authentic sounds, though its distinctive cry was added later in a studio session to enhance the atmosphere. This choice brought a natural element to the movie, blending real wildlife with cinematic technique. Additionally, Vinny's tie is noticeably crooked throughout the film, a deliberate decision by the filmmakers. This small but consistent detail reflects Vinny's disheveled and out-of-place character, visually reinforcing his personality and emotional state. The crooked tie serves as a subtle symbol of his struggles and imperfections, making the character more relatable and grounded. These thoughtful touches contribute to the film's depth and realism, showing how even minor details like an owl's call or a crooked tie can shape the story's mood and character portrayal. Before Joe Pesci took on the iconic role of Vinny Gambini in the film, other actors were considered for the part. Danny DeVito and Jim Belushi were both in the running, but ultimately they declined the opportunity. This casting decision led to Pesci delivering a memorable performance that contributed significantly to the film's success. In addition to the casting choices, the film also contains subtle hints that add depth to the storyline. One such hint involves a mint green Pontiac Tempest, which appears in the background during a pivotal conversation between Vinny and Mona Lisa. This car is reminiscent of the vehicle described in Mona Lisa's testimony, suggesting a connection to the real murderers. This clever detail enhances the narrative, allowing viewers to engage more deeply with the plot and its twists. The film's ability to weave these elements together showcases the thoughtfulness behind its production and storytelling. Initially, Lorraine Bracco was the first choice to play the role of Mona Lisa Vito in the film My Cousin Vinny. However, she declined the role due to personal reasons, which opened the door for Marisa Tomei to take on the part. Tomei's performance as Mona Lisa Vito became iconic, earning her widespread acclaim and even an Academy Award. The movie itself, beyond its entertainment value, unexpectedly influenced legal education. A judge from South Carolina wrote an article highlighting how trial lawyers could learn valuable lessons from the character Vincent LaGuardia Gambini, played by Joe Pesci. This shows how a comedic film about a trial can offer insights into courtroom strategy and the practice of law, making it a surprising but useful resource for legal professionals and students alike.